Welcome back to Mechanics of Machinery. So today we will see how to draw an acceleration diagram for a 4-bar mechanism. We have already dealt with how to draw velocity diagram for a 4-bar mechanism. Now we will see how to draw acceleration diagram. For drawing acceleration diagram, you need actually velocity diagram from which you will get the relative velocities of each link that you have already covered in the last session. So coming to acceleration diagram, first thing you want to know is uh, an acceleration has actually two components. When one first one is known as radial component of acceleration, and that is represented by a with a superscript r, and there is a tangential component, and that is represented by a with a superscript t, a to the power of t you can call it, or at. And what is this radial and tangential component? So to understand this, you just consider a ball or something that is circulating or that is revolving. Let that be a ball. So that is fixed at one point and it is moving in a with a constant velocity in clockwise direction. So it is like a rotational motion. It is going like this. So it is moving in a rotational motion. So when a body undergoes this kind of rotational motion with, let's say, omega as the angular velocity or rpm n, whichever velocity you want to call, so angular velocity omega, or if it is completing one revolution you can call n as rpm. So it will have two acceleration components. First one will be along its radial direction. Radial means radius, so this is the radius of its rotation. So it is the radial direction. So radial direction will be along the radius vector. So like that. So if you draw it by a length like that, it will have a radial component that is represented by AR. And similar to that, when this circle rotates, it actually makes kind of a circle passing through its center like this. And from the point of center, there will be a tangent across this direction, and that tangential component will be known as tangential component. So again, the radial direction, there will be an acceleration component along the radius or the point of action of rotation, that will be radial component, and there will be another component that is in the tangential direction of the rotational motion, that will be called tangential component, that is represented by AT. This ball is moving, let's say, in that direction, clockwise direction. So, and these are the two components, and the actual acceleration, or what we call true acceleration, will be actually, okay, let's take that AR outside. So that is AR and that is AT, and the true acceleration will be actually the resultant vector of these two components. So that resultant vector will represent the true acceleration, that we call it as A. And we know radial and tangential component will be always 90 degree. This is important. Radial acceleration and tangential component of the acceleration will always be in perpendicular direction, and the A true acceleration, A will represent its total acceleration. And along with this, we want to know some equations that is needed to draw a acceleration diagram. So we need either AR or AT to get A, because we cannot get A directly. We need the radial and tangential component to be known, then only we can complete the triangle and find the resultant. So to get AR, that is radial component, we have the equation AR is equal to omega square times length of the link. we already know v omega is equal to v by length of the link, or v by L. I call the length of the link as L I call. So omega square will be equal to v square by L square. So actually omega square into L will become v square divided by L. That is the length of the link. V square divided by L. So that is the radial component. And acceleration along tangential component will be AT, that is tangential component, and that is found out by the equation alpha times length of the link, that is respective link, for which tangential component we are finding. And alpha is known as angular acceleration. Alpha is angular acceleration. We know acceleration is change in velocity by time. So angular acceleration becomes change in angular velocity divided by change in time, that is d omega by dt. So that is the equation for AR and AT. So I am rewriting it again. AR is equal to, or radial component is equal to v square by, that is relative velocity divided by length of the link, and tangential component is equal to alpha times length of the link. Now when we apply this to a 4-bar mechanism, there is a peculiar nature, that is, if you consider a 4-bar mechanism, we will always hear the crank is given a constant velocity either in RPM or with radians per second. All the questions will have that. So always you have to note to be taken is cranks, or in 4-bar mechanism what we call it as driver link has constant velocity. Constant velocity means constant omega also, or constant RPM, constant relative velocity, whatever. So constant velocity. So that means omega is equal to constant. So that means d omega divided by dt will be equal to 0. That implies alpha equal to 0. That implies AT is equal to, okay, let's write it there itself. A tangential component for a crank or driver will be equal to 0. So total acceleration A for a crank will be same as the radial component of the crank. So this is a point to be noted while drawing acceleration diagram, because we will not be able to find tangential component of the crank or the driver link. So we can use this criteria to find out the true acceleration or the radial acceleration of the crank, because there will not be any tangential component, because it is rotating with a constant velocity. When constant velocity, change in velocity by time will be 0, so angular acceleration will be 0. So angular acceleration 0 means tangential component will not be there. If tangential component is not there, then we know in the resultant vector there will be only one component AR, and that itself will represent the true acceleration of the crank. So knowing this, we can find out how the acceleration diagram is drawn. Before that, you need to find one more thing. So two things you have to be taken care of. One is tangential component of the crank is equal to 0. So that also need to be highlighted. Now, knowing that, you have to note 2-3 points for drawing acceleration diagram. Radial component will be always along the link. That means direction of radial component will always be along the link. And tangential component will always be perpendicular to the radial component, so that will be always perpendicular to the link under consideration, along the link under consideration. and again link under consideration. So whichever link you are taking, that radial component of acceleration will always be along that link, and tangential component will be always perpendicular to the radial component. That means perpendicular to the link. So knowing that, you can say for a rough diagram of a 4-bar mechanism, if I draw, let's draw a 4-bar diagram. If this is a crank, I'm drawing it for different angles so different colors, so you will be able to detect each you can detect each one by its color. So first this is fixed. Now going back to the black. So if an acceleration is, so a velocity is given to this one, then if A, B, C, D is the name given, A and B will not have any acceleration. So A of acceleration of A equal to acceleration of, okay, that is D actually, sorry, A, B, C, D. AD will be equal to 0. Because there is no velocity to the point A and D, we have already seen how to draw velocity diagram. A and D will represent a point in the velocity diagram because that does not move, so it has no velocity. If there is no velocity, there will be no acceleration. So you can write A, that is acceleration of A. We normally use a standard way, that is small letter A, equal to AD is equal to 0. So again, this will represent a point in the acceleration diagram. Point A, D will be represented by a point because those does not have any acceleration. And A, R, B, A. You can write it as A, R, B itself because with respect to A, the acceleration at point will be same because A is constant. So we normally don't write the relative velocity with respect to constant. So we just write ARB. That is a standard way of writing. Or you can use ARB, A, radial component of B, A. That will be equal to A itself, and it will be acting AB itself because there is no tangential component. Or you can write, since tangential of B will be equal to 0 because it is a crank or the driver link, will be equal to, and that will be along link AB. And similarly, we will have a component that is along this direction, A radial CB, that is C with respect to B, and we will have another one that is perpendicular to the link C, that is 90 degree with C, that will be a tangential component of CB. Similarly, there will be another one along CD that we call it as ACD, or we can call it as AC because D is stationary, so we don't need to write D because there is a standard way of not or avoiding the stationary points in relative acceleration and relative velocity. So we can avoid C, or you can write ACD, no problem. AC, that will be along length CD, and again, because you will see in the text that they will use the letter AC instead of ACD, that is C with respect to D. Acceleration of C with respect to D, or acceleration of B with respect to A will be written as AB because A and D are constant, or they does not have any acceleration. So relative acceleration, relative velocity, they will skip that letter which is representing the point which is stationary. So you can use both ACD is okay, or you can use AC. Now there will be another component that will be having 90 degree with the length, link CD, that will represent the tangential component CD. Again, it can be written as either ACD, or you can write it as, this will be radial and this will be ATC. You can write it both. Either you can write ATCD or you can write ATC. But here you should not skip B because B and C both are moving. So C and B both has relevance. But here D is not moving, D is stationary, acceleration does not have any validity in C or A. So you can skip D letter from that. But it is better to use both. You can know both, that is AC is representing ACD. So avoid confusion, because I am just mentioning this because if you see some practice problem in text, they will only mention AC instead of ACD. So now that are the acceleration. So how many acceleration we got? We have one acceleration. Okay, one acceleration we have along this line itself. That is AR of B. That will be itself its true acceleration. So we can have AR of B A or AR of B. AR of B. So the BA does not have any tangential component because we have already written, because it is a crank. Crank have constant velocity. It is provided a constant velocity from some source. So it does not have tangential component. It only has radial component. So one radial component tangential, one tangential. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components will be there, and along with this there will be a resultant acceleration of this one, that will be in the direction of this perpendicularity somewhere around here depending upon the length, and also there will be another perpendicular direction in this one, that will be representing resultant vector of this one, and there will be a resultant vector along this one. So that will depend upon the length of the AC and AD, and here also AC and ATD and AC. So in total in your acceleration diagram you will see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one resultant along these two. So 6, and other resultant along this one. 7 diagram. So you will have a polygon consisting of 7 links, 7 sides. It is a complicated process, but you have to learn it. So we will see with an example how to draw an acceleration diagram. So this is the example. We have a classic 4-bar chain where PQRS is a 4-bar chain with PS as the fixed link. So let's draw a rough diagram. We'll draw to scale later. Now let's draw a rough diagram. PS is fixed, so PS fixed. So let's mark that. It's always better to draw a rough diagram to get an idea how the links are mapped. And length of links are PQ is equal to 62.5, QR is equal to 175, and RS is equal to 125. So this is given. So this is important, and these 4 lengths are given, and the crank PQ rotates at 10 radians per second. So omega is equal to 10 radians per second. Always you have to write the given data. So should follow this procedure. You should write your given data in your answer book also, because if some questions are really tough and you have some consideration in evaluation, this given data will fetch you marks. So given data omega is equal to 10 radians per second. You should be specific with your units. Draw velocity and acceleration diagram when angle QPS is 60. So P is here, Q will be somewhere around here, and S is here. So there is an angle 60 degree, and the length of that Q is PQ is equal to 62.5 mm, and you have another link somewhere there. We don't know where exactly it is. We will know it when we draw a scaled diagram taking all the lengths in question. So this will be R, and QR is given as 175 mm, and RS is given as 112.5 mm, and PS is already mentioned as 200 mm. So this is a rough diagram, and 10 radians is given to PQ, so and it is in clockwise direction. So this direction there is an omega equal to 10 radians per second. So you should be able to draw this rough diagram from the given data. And one more thing, since you have given omega, that is the relative velocity of link QP, so we can directly find VQP or we can write just VQ, because as I said, there is a convention to avoid the stationary point from the acceleration and velocity notations. So VQ is equal, you will see in text that only VQ is mentioned, but actually they are representing VQ, that is velocity of Q with respect to P, but since P is stationary, we will skip that P. So VQ is equal to, we know V is equal to omega times R, so omega times length of the link PQ. So that will be 10 times length of link is 62.5 mm. Mm should be converted into meters. So instead of writing 62.5, you can write in meters directly. You should always go for SI units. So 10 times 0.0625, and that will be given by 0.625 meter per second. So that is the starting point for your velocity diagram. So acceleration diagram is only possible by drawing the velocity diagram in first and getting the velocities of each links. Then only you can proceed with the acceleration diagram. So you got VQ. So now we can move on to drawing the actual mechanism itself. Then we can draw the velocity diagram. We will see how to draw it. So let's start with drawing a horizontal line, that is the fixed link representing PS, that is 200 mm. You can scale it accordingly. So 200 mm you can take it as 20 centimeter. If your book does not permit 20 centimeter, you can take it as 10 centimeter. That means scaling should be 1 centimeter is equal to 20 millimeter. So like that you can scale it accordingly. Then from there you put a 60-degree line and cut 62.5 degree and you will get Q. From there you cut a compass arc of 175 degree, so 175 centimeter and 125 millimeters, and you will get a point of intersection. That will be your point R. You should scale it accordingly. Scaling, you can choose your own scale according to the width of your paper. So you can either take 200 millimeter as 20 centimeters, or you can take 200 millimeter as 10 centimeter also. If 20 centimeter is too wide for your page to contain, you can take 200 millimeter as 10 centimeter. That means 200 divided by 2, that can be taken as 20 centimeters, or 200 can be taken as 10 centimeter. Accordingly, you can scale all the other. And you should use a scaled diagram only. You should not use any rough diagrams. And from this, we will draw velocity diagram. So how to draw velocity diagram? We will see. We know there will be a velocity along the perpendicular to the length PQ. That will be VQP, or we will represent it as VQ, that we already found out to be 0.0625. Then you will have another one along perpendicular to QR, that will be VRQ, that we need to find out. Then we will again have another one perpendicular to VR, that is velocity of R with respect to S, that will be perpendicular to RS. VRQ and VR we don't know. VR is actually VRS, that we don't know, we need to find out. For that, start drawing velocity diagram. The easiest way to scale is taking your initial velocity that you know, that is VQ is equal to 1 centimeter. Or you can take 0.625 is the value that we get for VQ, that is a known velocity here. So if you have that known velocity, you can take it as 6.2 centimeter. That means 1 centimeter will represent 0.1 meter per second. If you are taking 0.625 meter per second as 6.25 centimeters, you will get 1 centimeter will be 0.1 centimeter. So you can easily mark it. That means to mark 0.625 centimeter, you can take 6.25 centimeter to mark it. This is the scaling. I hope you understand. You are all graduate level engineers, so you should know the scaling properly. This is the easiest way to scale because there is a decimals involved. So known velocity you take it as 1 decimal. So 1 centimeter will be 0.1. So 0.625 will be represented by 6.25 centimeters. Easiest scaling. So P and S is stationary. So start with point PS. Then what you want to do is, you know VQ in direction and magnitude. Direction is along perpendicular to PQ and magnitude is 0.625 meter per second, that we got from 10 radians multiplied by the length of the link 62.5 millimeters converted into meters. And what you need to do is you have to use a rolling scale and move that link to the point PS. So that will be the point. You can scale it according to this, so that will represent 6.25 centimeter as 6.25. And from there you should be able to plot VRQ, because VRQ, R is not yet found out, but we know Q because PQ we know. So use a rolling scale and move that VRQ to the Q. Now we will mark that VRQ to the Q. So use a rolling scale, trace out that VRQ velocity vector to the point Q. So that will be the direction, but we don't know the dimension or the magnitude of VRQ yet. For that we have to trace that VRS towards S. VR is actually VRS. S, because S is stationary, we avoid writing S. So we can plot that VRS towards S by using a rolling scale, and those two lines will intersect at a point that will be represented by R. This is the way to draw velocity diagram. You already have seen it. I am yet explaining it again. And you can ultimately measure now what is VRS and VRQ from this diagram, and you will get actual measurement, and you should convert it to the scale by putting back into the scale. So if you get 1 centimeter, that represents 0.1 meter per second. So you will get 3.33 centimeter, that means 0.33 meter per second. And if you draw it correctly, you will get 4.26 centimeter, that means 0.426 meter per second. So let's write it here itself. So 4.26 centimeter will represent, actually by scaling 4.26 will be representing 0.426 meter per second, and 3.33 will represent 0.33 meter per second. So that completes the acceleration diagram, sorry, velocity diagram, from which we should draw the acceleration diagram. For that we have to find out what are the radial components of the acceleration along this length from the VRQ we attained from this one, and VR we attained from the velocity diagram. From the velocity diagram we got VRQ. So I am writing from velocity diagram we got VRQ is equal to 0.333 meter per second. So we can find omega RQ from that. Omega RQ, that is angular velocity, is equal to VRQ divided by the length of the link RQ in meters. So that will be 0.333 divided by length is 0.175 meters, 175 millimeter, or 0.175 meters. So let's write it properly. 0.175 meters. So that will give you along 1.9 radians per second. Similarly, we have found out VRS as VR, or we can get that value as 0.426 meter per second from the velocity diagram. So from that we can find omega RS as VRS divided by length of the link RS in meters. So that will be 0.426 divided by length of the link is 0.1125 meters, or 112.5 millimeters. Converted into meters will be 1125 meters, and that you will get as 3.728 radians per second. So what is the need for finding this? Because we need radial to draw acceleration diagram. To draw acceleration diagram, we need AR components of all the links. So we need a radial components of ARQP, that you can find out by the general equation. AR is the square of relative velocity or linear velocity divided by the length of the link QP. So that we already found out that in the earlier section, that is radial component will always be omega square the length of the link. Omega is V by L. So omega square will be V square by L square. V square by L square times L square. L will be L and L cancelled out. So that will become V square by L. So coming back to there. So radial component along RQ, that is the crank, will be, because we know QP is the crank, and that will be given by 0.625 square divided by 0.0625, that is the length of the link in meters. So that answer will come as 6.25 meter per second square, because it is acceleration. And we know tangential component of QP is 0 because it is crank, since omega is constant. Now radial component of next link is RQ, that is the coupler link. RQ or QR, that is the coupler link. We already found out VRQ from velocity diagram. So that will be VRQ square divided by the length of the link RQ. That will be given as 0.333 square divided by 0.175, that is the length of the link, and you will get an acceleration of 0.634 meter per second square. Let's draw it correctly. So that will be 0.634 meter per second square. And tangential component of RS, we need alpha RS, but we don't know it, so we will put a question mark for that. We will, that you can get from the acceleration diagram, actually, that you can get from acceleration diagram. So radial component along the last one, that will be RS, that will be the driver link RS. So radial component will be VRS square divided by the length of the link RS, and we found out VRS from the velocity diagram as 0.426 meter per second. So 0.426 square divided by length of the link is 0.1125, 112 millimeter or 1125 meters, and you will get the value as 1.613 meter per second square. And again tangential component of RS, okay, I wrote it wrong earlier, it is RQ, apologies. So RQ, tangential component of RS cannot be now found out because we don't know the angular acceleration. So we have three radial components and one tangential component is 0, and we have three radial components, one tangential is 0. We need to find other two tangential component so that we will get angular acceleration. How to get angular acceleration? We need angular acceleration of all the links. So how to get angular acceleration of all the links? Other links, angular acceleration of RQ can be found out as using, we know from the earlier equation that angular acceleration is equal to, or the tangential component is equal to angular acceleration times length of the link. So for a crank it is 0, but for other, if you know the tangential component, you can get alpha. How to get it? You can get alpha from the equation, that is we know AT is equal to alpha times length of the link. That implies alpha is equal to 80 times length of the link. So from this equation, if you know 80 RQ, you can get alpha RQ. If you know 80 RS, you can get alpha RS. That is angular acceleration of link RS and angular acceleration of link RS and angular acceleration of link RQ. And we need not find for QP because there is no tangential component, so angular acceleration will be 0. So that is the procedure, and now we will move on how to draw this acceleration diagram, from which only you will get this AT RQ and AT RS. So this is the mechanism that we have in question. We have already drawn the velocity diagram for this. Now we will start drawing acceleration diagram. That is, we know there will be one acceleration along Q. That will be there will be another radial component along AR, and there will be another radial component along QR. So those are the three radial components. Now taking the scaling factor again, 0.625 meter per second, not the other one, here the meter per second square will be there for drawing acceleration diagram, because the first line will be representing the AQ, that will be same as the 0.625. So that will be PQ. How to draw this? You have the point PS, which is stationary. You just roll the scale from the parallel to length PQ, because we know first acceleration will be along the length PQ or along the link PQ. So you just use a rolling scale and draw the direction of AQ from point PS. PS will be stationary because P and S are stationary. That will be represented by point. So use your rolling scale and trace the point. So trace the line from PQ to RS. Sorry, PQ to PS. So again, that acceleration is using a rolling scale. You can take that direction from mechanism itself. Now, since there is no tangential component for AQ, because that is a crank, that itself will be there. And we know AQ is equal to, or radial component will be 6.25 meter per second square. That can be converted into the same scaling that we did for velocity itself. But instead you can write here scaling as for this you can write scaling as so 6.25 meter per second will represent 6.25 centimeter. So 1 centimeter will represent 1 meter per second square. That is the acceleration scaling factor you can take. That is the easiest one, because 6.25 meter per second square is the known acceleration that we have. From that you can actually scale the others. So that we draw. Now we know there is an acceleration along the length QR. So what we do is, that is because there is a crank, there is no angular acceleration. So we avoid a tangential component of AQ. There will not be any tangential component of AQ, because we already mentioned that for cranks there will not be any tangential component. So now the next point will be that acceleration along QR. So using a rolling scale, trace a line which is parallel to QR. And Q we already got, R we don't know. So trace that line, and that should be equal to the radial component of AQR. Radial component of AQR. That we have already found out as 0.063 meter per second square. So 0.063 meter per second square will be represented by 0.063 centimeter. That means you can take approximately 0.6 centimeter in your line. I know in ruling scale or roller scale it is difficult to take 0.63, and there will be a tangential component perpendicular to this radial component. But we don't know yet where the tangential component is, or how much the tangential component is. But we know it will be perpendicular to this radial component. So draw a perpendicular line from the radial component ending, and that radial component will be 0.63 centimeter. So draw your tangential component direction, that will be AT RQ, but we don't know the length because we don't know yet how much that tangential component is. Now you have another radial component, that is AR, that you can trace it to the point PS, because that is ARS actually. So you can trace it to our PS point, and that we know radial component we already found out. AR, radial component of link RS, is as 1.613 meter per second square, and so 1.613 meter second square will be represented by 1.613 meter centimeter if you take this scaling. So using that scaling method you can draw that acceleration also. You will get a point here, and from that point you can again draw a tangential component line which is perpendicular to the that point. Those two tangential components will actually intersect at one point. And that point will give you what is the length of this tangential component. Okay, let's go back a little bit. So that point will give you what is the length of this tangential component of RQ and what is the length of the tangential component of RS. You can measure it using a ruling scale from here to here to get the length of tangential component RS. Then from here to here you can measure the tangential component of RQ. And one more thing, the true acceleration of the both the links will be represented by the radial and axillary component resultant. So for link RS, the true acceleration will be represented by the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle made by the tangential component of RS and the radial component of RS, that is by represented by this line. And similarly, there will be another true acceleration represented by that line, that is hypotenuse of the right angle triangle made by the tangential component of RQ and radial component of RQ. Hope that is you know how to draw the acceleration diagram. I will just skip through all these steps again. First draw AQ 6.25, then you trace the point ARQ, that is the radial component of link RQ. You already found out the length, so scale it and draw it. Along with that point you draw a perpendicular line to represent tangential component of RQ. Then again you have the other radial component AR, trace it to the point S because that will be ARS. So you take the scaling accordingly 6.25. Then from that also you draw another perpendicular line and that will intersect at a point. So that length you will get for tangential component and two resultants will be marked like that. So that will be the resultant accelerations, but we need not know resultant acceleration for now, but we are finding out it anyway from the diagram. So that will be ARQ or ARS, sorry, and that one will be ARQ. That means true acceleration, resultant of tangential radial. But we are not concerned about that in this question. But still, if you ask what is the true acceleration of the links, you can find out. And the true acceleration of the crank will be same as the first acceleration because there is no tangential component. Radial component will be same as the acceleration. I hope this makes it clear how to draw the acceleration diagram. From that diagram, you can measure ATRQ to get the tangential component of RQ and ATRS to get the tangential component of RS. And if you measure it from there to there, you will get a length of 4.1 centimeter, that will represent 4.1 meter per second square according to our scaling, and other one will be 5.3 centimeter, that will be 5.3 with the scaling 5.3 meter per second square. So 80 RQ you got at 4.1 centimeter and other one we got as 5.3. According to the scaling, you can convert it into acceleration now. So 80 RS will be 5.3 centimeters meter per second square, and other one will be 5.3 meter per second square, and other one will be 4.1 meter per second square. So from acceleration diagram, we will get the results as alpha, sorry, not alpha, alpha is to be found out, tangential component of RQ that we mentioned earlier. We didn't get it, we will get it from acceleration diagram. So RQ will be equal to you get the length as 4.1 centimeter. So you can convert it into acceleration as 4.2 meter per second square, because we took the scale as 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter per second square. That is the easiest way to scale it. You can scale it accordingly and you can convert it according to your logic. This is the easiest way to scale when there is a decimals involved. Take the known value and equate it to 1 centimeter. Okay. So, and that from that you can use the alpha equation, that is AT by length of the link here. So angular acceleration, that is our required answer. Angular acceleration of RQ will be equal to A tangential of RQ divided by length of the link RQ. So that will be 4.1 divided by length of the link was 175 millimeters, so 0.175 meters, and you will get the equation as, sorry, answer as 23.43 radians per second square. So that is your first answer. Radians per second square, because it is angular acceleration. Like meter per second square, in angular acceleration there will be radians per second square. Now of the other link. So RQ is the angular acceleration of this coupler link. Now we need to find the angular acceleration of the driver link RS. So tangential component of RS from the acceleration diagram, we will get it as 5.3 centimeter. That is according to the scaling, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter per second square, 5.3 meter per second square. And from that we will get alpha RS as tangential component of RS divided by length of the link RS. So that means 5.3 divided by, it is 1112, sorry, 112.5 millimeter. So 1125 meters, and that will be equal to 47.1 radians per second square. So this is your answer, and this is your answer. So once again we were given a link diagram of the data related to a 4-bar mechanism. It's the length of the link and angle. So we should draw the first mechanism to a scale, then you should draw velocity diagram, then you should draw acceleration diagram, then only you can find out what is the required acceleration. So just let's sum up what we have learned. So to find angular acceleration of links in 4-bar chain, what you have to do? First, find velocity of crank. For if you, in our case, if our mechanism was like this, P, Q, R, S, so this will be crank. First find V, P, Q from the omega given times length PQ. So that will be first thing. Then draw scaled 4-bar chain from the given dimension of the questions. Then 3, mark velocity directions in scaled 4-bar chain diagram. That is, we know there will be velocity perpendicular to this one, there will be velocity perpendicular to that one, there will be velocity perpendicular to this one. So we need to know the direction to find the velocity diagram. Then you should draw velocity diagram to a proper scale. And what we know velocity of PQ in direction and magnitude. We don't know the direction of others. We only know VRS and VRQ in direction only. So use the directions from the velocity directions marked in the 4-bar chain to complete the velocity direction and find VRS and VRQ. Then fifth point is moving towards acceleration diagram. Find radial components of acceleration along all the links using AR is equal to, first equation, basic equation is AR is equal to omega square into length of the link, or you can reduce that equation to the V square time divided by length of link. So you should find AR and you should note that is important, that is A tangential of PQ, that is crank, will be always equal to 0. And last thing is draw acceleration diagram. From the knowledge that three things you should know: A radial PQ will be parallel to the vector or the link represented by PQ in the scaled diagram, parallel to PQ in scaled 4-bar chain, and AR RS will be parallel to RS in the scaled 4-bar chain. Similarly, AR RQ will be parallel to link RQ in the scaled 4-bar chain. And we know ATRS is perpendicular to ARRS and ARRQ is perpendicular to ARRQ. And already we know AT of the other link PQ will be 0 because it is crank. And you can find, which is a step number, that 7. So find AT RQ and AR. Okay, that is actually AT. I wrote it as wrong. AT RQ will be perpendicular to AR. AT RS from acceleration diagram. Finally, find required angular acceleration alpha by the equation AT divided by length of the link. That is, alpha of RQ will be equal to tangential component of RQ divided by link RQ, and acceleration of RS will be equal to tangential component of RS divided by length of the link RS. And this will be in radians per second square. So that should be the procedure you should follow to get the acceleration. This is a long procedure, very complicated problem, I know, but you should learn it because you are mechanical engineers, so you should be able to tackle complicated problems. This is some of the core topics of mechanical engineering. you're getting into rather than theory. We are actually solving actual mechanisms. So hope you does it correctly. Thank you.